What's up, dudes? The South Side might mean something. I just heard bean. All right. So I just watched this amazing documentary, and it was on. Whoa! I will try new things. It was on racial covenants in real estate, and kind of a Jim Crow thing happening in the North. And it wasn't just the Twin Cities where this happened. This was in the early 1900s, all the way up until the 60s with redlining. And we had talked about redlining once before. I believe, was it The Bureaucracy of Buffoons? That might have been it. I can't remember. And so Spirit wants us all to watch this because Spirit once again wants to talk about white privilege. Like, spiritually, should I feel guilty because I'm a white person? Like, let's just look at it. White privilege. Today I will succeed and I trust myself. So the answer is nobody needs to feel guilty for whatever color skin they have. First. And secondly, white privilege is a thing. It's a thing. Whether or not you want to admit it, it exists. But it's tricky. It's tricky how it exists. And so a really great way to truly kind of understand it real quick, how tricky it is this clip where it's the $100 raise. And a lot of us have already seen it, but I will put it down in the comment section of this message. And it's where, looks like at the end it might be a church group or something, but a man has a $100 bill, and it's at the end of the football field, and all the people are lining up on the starting line, and he says, all right, if your parents are still together, take one step forward. I think he says take 2 steps forward. Immediately the line staggers. If you've never had to pay for your cell phone bill, take 2 steps forward. The line staggers even more. And the race hasn't even started. And so then he keeps asking questions. And then he points out to all the people, all right, now we're going to start the race. Everybody who's way at the front, you are at the front already through no merit of your own. Nothing you did got you to the front here. And there are people way behind you that if they were in the same place as you, they would absolutely win. But they're starting way back there because of no merit of their own either. So what the privilege is, and here's where it's tricky. He says, take 2 steps forward. And you watch every one of those kids take giant leaps. Not one of them takes a step forward as instructed. They cheat with the very first move. That's what white privilege is. They don't even realize they're cheating. So Spirit wants us to watch that video and listen to him say, take 2 steps forward. And you watch these kids, a couple of girls leaping from their expensive ballet class. Boys, broskies, whoa, hugest leap ever. Stretching out as far as I can. None of them took a step. And were they doing it like with a cheating, malicious heart? No. They were saying, I qualify. Yeah, here I go. But they were already cheating. That's what white privilege is. All right. So I just picked this up and this stayed down. Hello, Venus. So it's interesting to learn about history for different races and different communities, because it's easy for people who have privilege to say, we were all born in the same time, get over the past, you have just as much of a chance as I do. And that's completely untrue. Here in the United States, slavery was not that long ago. It was not that long ago when African American people were not allowed to own any kind of property at all. And it was only until 1968 that African American people, there used to be, it was called racial covenants. And that would be, this house is for sale, but this neighborhood doesn't allow black people. So you couldn't buy a house in certain neighborhoods unless you were white. It wasn't just black people, it was kind of any minority. And that went on. Not just in Minneapolis, it went on all over the United States. And that the guy in the documentary has a really good point. He says, imagine the white family whose grandparents had a house over off of Minnehaha Creek. Yeah, now that property is worth $500,000. No minorities, especially black people, were allowed to even be anywhere near there. People would try to sell their house to a black family, and the neighbors would freak out, sue them. And so there's this whole kind of untold part through real estate and redlining. And redlining, again, is when, back in the past, where cities would say, we're actually cordoning off a part of the city for the ghetto. Yep, this is going to be the red line area of the city. This is where all the riffraff go, the undesirables, the people that we don't want to have to be around. And they're all here, and we're all here with, and we don't even have to think about here. So that's where and that still is happening today with drug use in cities, something like similar like that with drug addicts, where they don't clean up a certain part of the city because, well, that if we just let them all be there, then we all don't have to deal with them. And so when they would like literally block off parts of a city, and then insurance companies wouldn't insure any businesses in those red line areas of the city. That's how you get food deserts. That's how you get like a ghetto. People, it's more expensive to be poor. You don't have a super grocery store around there, so you have to buy your groceries at the corner mart. You probably don't have a car, so you have to take everything by bus. And so people get locked in to these destined parts of the city. I hear destined to succeed. To these different parts of the city. And it wasn't that long ago. It was only in 1968 where they made that illegal. Neighborhoods say no black people can purchase a house here. And it wasn't all white people, because there was people who were against the name Rachel might mean something. Racial covenants. For example, say a white family, they really needed to sell their house. They have no white family buyers are interested in buying a house on that street or whatever at the time. They have 2 black families that would love to buy the house, but the neighbors won't let them sell their house to a black person. Yeah, the white homeowner said, I can sell my house to whoever I want to. So it was a big, huge deal. But a lot of us don't know about that. And the after effects of that, I think I heard in that documentary, which I'll put in the comment section here, that in Minneapolis, I think they said 75% of white families still are homeowners to 25% of black families. So even in the neighborhoods, what rent costs in different places is all an effect of all of that. So white privilege is absolutely a thing. We don't have to be embarrassed to be white, but we do have to take a step when we're instructed to take a step, not a leap. And because a leap is a cheat, and none of those kids even realized they were cheating. And so we have to be present in the fact that everybody has their own struggles and their own wins. But not everybody starts on the same starting line. All right, so Spirit wants us to watch that $100 race. And so, no, nobody should feel bad or guilty if their parents were able to set them up or pay their way or anything like that. Of course, every parent wants to do that for their child. We do have to admit that not everybody is starting at the same starting line for the rat race. Life. Not everybody starts at the same starting line. All right. So I'll put all those things down in the comment section. And this is my card for the Divine Masculine showing up. And if you don't want to click on the link, I get it. I'll put the title too, and you can copy and paste the title into the comment section. Free Soul School here. Let's learn about racial covenants. South side of Minneapolis. A little Minneapolis history.